So what I've been seeing is a lot of my friends are popping up now as Hebrew Israelites all of a sudden. And I've never heard them mention any of this, but for some reason they are now enlightened based off Mr. Kyrie Irving. And it's getting weird because we all have friends, I think, or at least I do, I grew up with, that have gone down that path since I know them. Like they've always been that person. But I'm seeing people that have never mentioned anything like this in their life just jumping out the window for the sake of Kyrie. And it's really annoying. To that you say what? Have either of y'all seen that? J Moore, I come to you first. Have you seen any of that? Because it's a wave now.
Yeah, it's
like
out
the
there.
wave is crazy.
Well, look, this is the crazy thing. You know, people are like, why aren't people speaking up for Kyrie? And it's really a thing where people think, oh, this individual is being maligned, and I can kind of understand that.
For the record, I do think they playing him at this point because he's done everything that's necessary. They asked for the apology, he did it. Everything that he's done now is just like they poking the bear, trying to expose him, like trying to just drag him in front of everybody. I don't agree with that.
Now, this is the thing, and I could be wrong, but I don't even think Kyrie watched this documentary.
He did, not the whole thing.
He said he didn't watch it.
Yeah, and so, but I could just tell by, when they tried it, in that first press conference, I was like, he didn't watch it. He saw something kind of fly that he thought might have been some fly meme knowledge, which is something I've spoke on before.
It's on brand with him, though.
But this is the same guy who talked about the Earth being flat and not wanting to get down with the vaccine. Which that I even though I'm one of the people who I was like I went and got my vaccine, my booster, the whole nine.
You were one of the first people I knew that went and got it. Actually.
I got it as soon as I could.
Yeah, you was in line. I remember.
But this is the thing.
That's just because he's older than all of us.
Yeah,
first.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
Is that what it was?
I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm of that age group where they said, "Hey, come on and get it."
Jay Moore was like, I got in my car and I was in line. I had to wait and
but
go
also,
to the
I applaud you for that, though, brother.
But this is the thing. I know there are a lot of people, and I found this out really during the pandemic, that don't know a single medical doctor or have access to them personally. Mm-hmm. Now, I guess I'm in a privileged position to where I have a lot of friends that, graduated from, Xavier University.
Yo, man.
Shout out to him.
And I have a lot of friends in my personal network who are doctors who I could ask questions to, but that's neither here nor there. We're talking about his new walk, if you will.
I don't think it's new though, because it's on brand for him. It's on brand for him.
He's been coming with the whole God body thing, and
it's on brand for him.
And because people have tried to say, oh, it's not offensive, but see, this is the thing, because we as African Americans, this is where we gotta. And there's somebody gonna be like, "Oh, you a sellout, brother?" Whatever. I say what I say. I say what I say. Who am I as an African American of the Christian faith?
Yeah.
Let's just take the African American part out of it, of the Christian faith, to say, if somebody says, "Hey, this is hurtful towards the Jewish community," and who am I to say, "No, it's not. This is just a documentary." That same grace that I want people to have when I see something that is clearly about white supremacy and racism. If someone and I say that is what it is, who are you to say that it's not? Who am I to say that something is not expressing anti-Jewish sentiment if the Jewish community tells me that?
Hold that thought real quick. Don't lose that train of thought. I want to come to Terry because I saw you kind of grinning when I talked about what the Israelite stuff that was popping up. I get what Jay Moore saying, tying it around with the vaccine, because I still think Kyrie is getting dragged for what he said as well about the vaccine. Yeah. Like it's twofold. It's all of it on top of each other at this point. But what I initially talked about, are you seeing that as well? Are you seeing people starting to pop up and be super enlightened that you've never heard anything about? Because I'm seeing it everywhere.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
It's so my whole thing with that's kind of what bothered me the most.
Okay.
How everybody, I haven't seen any of y'all with them brothers with the bull horns and the
Come on, man.
And the Moses outfits on.
Come on, man.
Trying to preach. Like, if anything, y'all was probably laughing at them. Mm-hmm. But now all of a sudden everybody is Hebrew Israelites. That's the only thing that gets me. It's like you can ride and side with somebody, but you got to know what you riding and siding for.
Right.
That's the whole thing. Like, okay, he did talk about this documentary, or he posted the picture.
Right.
Do I think it's kind of a witch hunt from him posting that picture?
I think it is now.
The problem, I think the problem with it is him not necessarily. I remember you posted something or made a comment about him apologizing.
Oh yeah, we were on.
I didn't really see an apology. It was a roundabout apology. It wasn't what they wanted to hear.
Is it sincere? I don't think so. But I think it was a written statement saying I apologize for. That's where I was coming from. Like I think they're looking at that.
That's a PR move though. That's somebody probably wrote that for him.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying?
But to me, that counts as y'all asked me to apologize. I released a statement saying I apologize. What else is left? Well, they got a list of like 6 more things.
That's the thing. Just like who am I to say that he did, even though it's from his PR firm or the Nets or whatever, who am I to say that he doesn't mean it? That's where we need to have a dialogue with our friends in the Jewish community to be like, well, why? Okay, you asked for an apology. You got an apology, but now you're saying he doesn't mean it. Right. Well, who are you to say that he doesn't mean it?
Right. Exactly.
And the thing is, if he's made the apology, now this is something else. Once again, this is where a lot of people, they don't want to hear all sides of the argument because Kyrie got 5 games.
Yeah.
Nothing's been completely taken away from him. It's a suspension. Understandable. Because like I said, if these people have been hurt, then we need to acknowledge that, have a dialogue about it, and try to do the best we can to move forward. For all the people who are like, well, Jewish people just run the world. First of all, only 2% of Americans are Jewish. If 2% of the people are running the world, then, and first of all, if they was running the world, why we get to talk about them so bad? Also, when it, there have been 2 NBA owners that have had to relinquish their teams. Both of them Jewish. They didn't get suspended. They said you can't be a part of this anymore.
That's Sterling and old boy and what's my boy's name in Phoenix that just got popped off?
Yeah, I don't. Robert Sarver.
Sarver.
Yeah,
he's out of there.
And so like they're like you can't. A lot of times for these business owners, they might have made all this money doing something else, but the crown jewel for them is their NBA team. That's their bragging rights. That's what makes them cool.
Sure.
And so to take that away from them is a big deal. But, I
think a lot of it has to do too with this whole list that they put out and people are saying that they think that's unfair. I think that's a little extra.
It's a lot extra to me.
I do think that
once again, either you accept his apology or you don't.
Or you don't, exactly. I don't think this isn't necessarily, it is a teachable moment, but it's not an instance where you need to pretty much grab this man by his balls to make an example out of him.
That's what they're trying to do.
You need to suspend him. He's already paid $500,000 to whatever organization.
They didn't accept it.
Oh, they didn't accept it?
They wouldn't accept it.
Oh, well, I mean.
That's on them.
Yeah, that's a little different. And I'm not saying that I'm sought because as somebody black, I mean, we recognize what racism is.
Sure.
Now, not being Jewish.
Yeah.
And not having that same culture and upbringing, like he said, I can't tell you what to be offended by.
Right.
Now, I do agree with them getting on Kyrie and not getting on Amazon for having this readily available for you to watch. You can pull it up right now if you want to watch it.
Wait. So are you're saying that Amazon should be held accountable, or are you not tripping off that?
No, absolutely, they should be held accountable.
Okay. I was about to say, I'm like, wait a minute,
because I haven't heard them ask, Jeff Bezos anything about this.
Not a peep.
There needs to be a situation where everybody's held accountable. You can't pick and choose who's accountable. He got this video blip off of Amazon,
right?
Or it's still screenshot, whatever. I can log on to Amazon right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I take it that there's some Jewish ownership in Amazon, right?
Mm-hmm. From what I know. Yeah.
Right, but as long as they're making money off of it, it's cool.
It's a corporation. There's anybody who wants to buy stock is part of that ownership, and if they are part of that ownership, they need to say something.
Now, everybody is talking about Shaq and Barkley, talking about LeBron, right? Not coming to quote unquote the defense. I saw something so stupid. I ain't gonna even talk about it.
I would probably know what you're talking. I know.
I don't even want to give fam. I ain't gonna do that. But Shaq's one of Shaq's movie theaters that he owns played that documentary.
Ain't that a blip?
Did Shaq know that? I don't know about that.
He probably didn't know about it, just like Jeff Bezos didn't know this was on his platform.
But now that he knows that it's on his platform, he should be taking it down, right?
But the people
shoot, the joint is like $12. He's probably it's probably making all people just a curiosity factor.
That's why Kanye they had to take all his stuff down, right?
Did.
So he was saying this anti-Semitic stuff, and Drink Champs took the video down.
Sure did.
As respect to
that
our
community.
Jewish brothers and sisters, right?
And the George Floyd family.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody want to talk about that.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
That's why people was like, "Oh, did you watch it?" I said, "No, I was done after the first 5 minutes." After
I did not watch. I did say I did want to see it just for. I can't even say educational purposes.
It's definitely not educational.
It's more
purpose.
so to
Nothing
watch
Kanye
the circus.
does is educational.
Yeah, it's not educational.
But
purpose.
they took that down out of respect.
Yeah.
I think Jeff Bezos needs to exercise that same thing. I mean, I think everybody should be held to the flame.
Well,
essentially.
It might be a steak dinner on me, brother. If they if you see Jeff Bezos and them being like, yeah, we're gonna have to just pull this down.
Look,
I doubt it.
I don't know what the payment situation is for people who, it just makes me feel like can you just post anything on Amazon?
Right. Right.
What are the checks and balances of these things?
Everything is monetized.
But I'm just saying, like, whoever is, because like I said, I think it's like $12, but I saw the running time. That's when I knew this thing is more than 2 hours long. I was like, Kyrie,
I don't have
watch
time
this.
for all that.
Yeah.
Bruh, everything that Kyrie has done is, I keep saying, is on brand for him. I'm not surprised that he even says the stuff that he said, but the fact that he clarified it was from a religious standpoint in his background, once he did that and then took the necessary steps to do, like Terry said, with the formal apology, I'm like, all right, now y'all just really just trying to drag him out into the middle of the town and just humiliate his dignity at this point. And
It's
I don't,
a matter
I
of
can't vouch
making
for
an
that.
example of him, and it's not as extreme as I've been seeing. Like I understand people kind of pointing back to another time and place where things were done to black men in order to humiliate them. You know what I'm saying?
But
I'm not going to compare it to that.
Thank you.
I'm not comparing it to that. But this is a situation where they are making an example out of him.
True.
And showing, and it's similar. I don't know if y'all remember when Michael Jackson made "They Don't Care About Us."
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So he had the line in the song.
Yeah. Research it. We're not gonna say it here.
Right, I'm not going to say it.
Yeah.
But he had a line in that song that he initially had told them he was going to remove. When he shot the video, he left it in there. So even back then,
Right.
that caused the problem. He ended up having to mute that part out of the video. So if you go watch that video now, that part's gone.
Yeah.
There's other examples.
Even re-released. There's a second. If you bought it the day one,
Yeah.
you got the original lyrics. But
Exactly.
when they did the second pressing going forward,
Yeah.
they took all that out.
Yeah.
Even Jada Kiss, his line on All About the Benjamins,
Yeah.
a stack chips like,
Uh-huh.
you know what I'm saying? They removed that. So, I mean,
There's certainly now it's on streaming. They put it back in.
did they?
Oh, it's back in on streaming?
I've heard.
For how long?
I don't know. Probably till somebody hears this.
Straight up, because if the right person hears it, they're going to pull that mug.
Yeah.
You already know that. They're going to pull it.
The thing with Kyrie though too is I understand he's one of those people that he's a truth seeker essentially,
Yeah.
for lack of better words or terms.
Yeah.
He likes to take and I even hate using the whole woke thing because the woke phrase is beat to the ground.
Yeah,
I don't even like to use it. I
Almost
don't even,
doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I don't even know what to really call it. But he
It's
does a
crutch
lot
at
of
this point.
he does a lot of research
Yeah.
and falls into a lot of ideologies that so even before he was on the Hebrew Israelite
Yeah.
bandwagon thing, he was claiming indigenous. I
Yeah.
don't know if y'all remember.
Yeah,
that.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So like you said, there's nothing new about Kyrie. Pretty much wanting his own voice, doing what he wants to do. I mean, at this point, he has money.
Lone says,
A lot of people figure when they got money, they can pretty much make their own decision, and it doesn't matter.
Facts. Lone says Kyrie is low key fake smart.
Well,
I mean, this is what I talk about with people
Yeah.
with who they want to seek knowledge, but they want to seek it their own way, and usually the way they want to seek it is not through actually reading books, not through speaking to people who are more learned than them about a particular subject.
Right.
They want to go. There's a documentary. I watch a few minutes of that. I'll look at these meme pages. I'll look at little clips on YouTube, and
we talk about that all the time.
These things come from a perspective that already is, instead of you actually doing the work. And this is where Kyrie really got in trouble.
Meme culture.
Is because
absolutely.
if you're going to speak on certain things, and I've said this before on the show, and I'll say it again just because I feel like it needs to be something that is just reiterated so people don't get themselves in these sort of situations, is if you're not willing or you're not able to answer follow-up questions, then there's just certain subjects you should leave alone. When it comes to religion, when it comes to politics, when it comes to, like if you're going to ask me what's going on in the Gaza Strip, I'll be like, look, we're not going to talk about that today. You know why? Because I don't have the ability to answer follow-up questions.
I think with Kyrie, to Lone's point, do I think Kyrie is an idiot? No. Do I think he's uneducated? No. Was he ill prepared to
he went to Duke.
Right, like Kyrie's not an idiot. I'm not about to.
He played basketball at Duke.
I ain't gonna do that, brother, like that. But
don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, he's still. No, because
don't do that.
It's not one of them schools. You actually have to be able to get into Duke.
Yeah,
so
do that.
I was.
But what I'm saying is, was he ill prepared, not fully knowing what he was doing when he tweeted?
That's what I'm saying. He was not prepared at all.
That's all I'm saying. I think he was ill prepared. That's all. But the boy done what he's supposed to do at this point, man. Y'all, we can just leave it at that.
Look, and I'm
that's
not,
the way I see
and I'm
it.
not, and like I know this sounds crazy, but you know what? Look. Black men, if you are in the public eye, the way Kyrie is, the way Michael Jackson is, the way Nick Cannon is, stop making the same mistake. Yeah. Still, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what it is. How many times do we have to see this happen to where, people have opportunities and their ability to create generational wealth is interrupted because they think they're smarter than what they are.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, focus on the generational wealth in your community. Stop looking over there and talking about what they got and what they're doing when you have an opportunity to Kanye West always talking about jealousy. You have the opportunity to do what you're jealous of and keep it moving. And there's no reason to be focused on what they're doing over there.
There's a whole lot of HBCUs you can send your children to. Yeah. If that's the path we want to take.
Yes, you could. Or if you are so rich, you could sponsor an HBCU. You could make sure there's a scholarship there. Shout
out to Jackson State.
Exactly. That's why I
get you right.
That's why I applied Deion Sanders.
Man, he's doing a great thing down there.
He's making an example.
And his action though, bro, like he went down there and actually executed stuff. It's not. It wasn't all pomp and circumstance.
No, if you are really about the action as far as like, yeah, we need to do this for our people, then you don't need to be talking about what they did over there or what they're doing over there. If you have those millions of dollars and you have those resources, like, when I saw the story on 60 Minutes about how because Deion Sanders is there, Walmart brought their dollars to make sure they have a proper practice field.
Pepsi.
You know what I'm saying? And so now game day was at Jackson State.
You know how big that is?
Yeah.
For game day to go to Jackson State?
Don't worry about what they're doing over there. Because you have the ability, like, everybody wanted to get on LeBron because he didn't back up Kyrie. Well, look at what LeBron is doing for his people.
Bro, you can't be mad. See, that's the whole thing. We can't keep passing the buck and calling people this, that, and the other. Now, some of the words that Shaq and Barkley use against Kyrie, I'm not geeing for that.
They called him an idiot. I ain't like
he's misguided. He may be
Charles Barkley especially pisses me off when he goes into his tangents.
He bad about it too.
He's so much better than these people. Do you remember the commercials when we was kids? I am not a role model.
Yeah.
How many people he threw out of bars and punched in the face and hit with bottles?
Brian brought it up. They don't talk about it.
Yeah. You can't be out here calling people idiots and dumb.
Because when you were Kyrie's age, you were doing really goofy stuff.
The thing about LeBron is, and I'm the resident LeBron fan on the show.
Only thing I rock with LeBron is just not the same.
Yeah, don't do that. I see you smiling. Don't do that. The thing that I wanted from LeBron was just to be like, I know Kyrie, he's a good person, and I know he's not an anti-Semitic person. That's the only thing I wish he would have said.
He said, look, Kyrie did some things that, like I said, if he hurt somebody, it's not for me to say, no, he didn't.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's not.
But at the same time, we don't have to pile on this brother just because he's misguided, or maybe
That's what they're trying to do.
I just like I said with the rappers, I would rather, once again, Kyrie, he's not super duper young to where he could be one of my kids.
But I turned 30.
Okay, well then I'm at 45. You know what I'm saying? If I was really irresponsible, maybe Kyrie could be one of my kids.
We ain't gonna talk about that though.
You know what I'm saying?
That's really responsible.
Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about that.
Like we ain't seen that. Yeah. But I'm just saying, I'd rather say, I'd rather pull him aside and be like, look, brother, look, I know what you're trying to do, and I think your heart's in the right place. Yeah. It's just, you're a little bit misguided. There are a couple other books you need to read. Here, come over here. Hey, have you read Ta-Nehisi Coates? But we know
who LeBron is.
Yeah, have you?
They're going to him first every time.
And I'm looking at LeBron. I'm like, okay, so I'm sending kids to Akron University free with tuition. I got a GED program for their parents for free if they want to come in and get GEDs, and all the tuition is paid for. But he's the one that's bringing down the black race off Kyrie. That's stupid.
That's stupid. That's part of the game. That's how they pit us against each other. They'd be like, oh, Kyrie, he's the one who's really, here's this brother out here sending kids to college, taking care of their parents if they want to get their GED, and now we're in a place where we're calling him a sellout.
You know what they told me? My cousin told me, he said, man, that's a tax break. I said, so you're going to ignore that the kids are getting what they need because it's a tax break? That tells me who you are.
Everybody out here knows everything, man. That's what I
First of all, how do you know it's a tax break?
How do you know?
I know that these rich people out here, under when
Malone says he doesn't care.
When Donald Trump signed his tax plan, people were able to write off whole airplanes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But we don't, you can't get nobody to get mad about that. But we like, look at LeBron James sending them kids to college. That ain't nothing but a tax break.
He can, as a brother, any of your friends you consider brother, friend, whatever.
Yeah.
If they in the wrong, you let them know, right?
Yeah.
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 And you let them know in whatever tone or whatever.
Whatever works.
It's still all love, though. At the end of the day,
it's all love.
LeBron is on a national stage. He ain't got no problem personally with Kyrie Irving. They are going to keep pressing and asking him questions about the situation. Listen, so you don't think he's going to say the politically correct answer as LeBron James? You think he's about to put himself in the same position that Kyrie and Kanye West are in right now? I'm not going to keep it real, and everybody wants these cats to keep it real, but they ain't in the same position as these dudes.
First of all, I am not going to mess up. Like this is how you need to look at it. These cats are not going to mess up their generational wealth to cap for Kyrie Irving. They aren't,
or to cap for their cousin James on the sideline that think everything that he's never heard before is the right thing to hear.
I want to end it here, and then we can jump into our first topic. But to y'all's points, it's hilarious to me to watch people that their managers on their jobs can be as disrespectful as possible daily, but y'all won't quit. But you want LeBron to jeopardize his whole, not his whole, but you know what I mean. You want a portion of his kingdom because y'all want him to say something that Kyrie agree with something that Kyrie did. But you won't do it in your regular life. That's weird. That's weird.
Well, not only will you not do it in your regular life, but like you don't even understand the like you're willing to throw everything else that you've seen LeBron do good for the community, good for specifically the black community. You want to throw all that away because you want him to stand up for Kyrie when he posted a documentary that we know at this point he didn't even watch.
I'd rather you say you just don't like LeBron.
No, I
mean
that's
just say that.
All right, you can't G and be on the bandwagon for everything just because it's black or somebody black did it. I'm not doing all that.
Let's leave it there because this could spill over because it's a lot of foolishness out here.